I'm so excited. Let's get streaming into the Facebook group because we have an incredible Reshape Method review to share with you today. Okay, hit live. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. Tracy here. I am creator of the Reshape Method 12-week program and host of the Audacious Aging Club Facebook group. And I am so thrilled to have with me today Carrie Carter, who has just graduated from our program, and her transformation was so phenomenal that she has wanted to come and share it with everybody today. Carrie, welcome. Tell us, what are the big changes that you experienced in the Reshape Method?
So the biggest change that I've experienced is that chronic back pain that I've had since I was a teenager, that's just gotten worse over the years, is, I mean, it's so minimal. I can't even say it's not affecting my life anymore. I mean, like, I'm just like doing stuff and it's not at the whim of what my back will allow me to do. I mean, that has been the biggest transformative thing. Just
phenomenal.
Being able to move more, being able to move more freely, feeling the strength in my body, especially like feeling the right muscles turning on when I'm doing things, which I've never done before. I've never experienced that. And just feeling good about like my body and my strength, what I'm able to do.
I can see, like, I think let's just go back a little bit and tell people, like, because there's just so much joy and so much delight on your face, right? You said your back pain is like basically gone. You've lost 20 pounds. You're feeling fitter and stronger than you've maybe been in your life. Why did you join the Reshape Method? Like, what was going on with your back and how was it affecting your life? And also, do you want to share with people how old you are?
So I am 45. I'm going to be 46 at the end of July. So I've had chronic back issues since I was a teenager. I started going to chiropractors, when I was still in high school, and nobody really knew why. I just kind of thought like I just got like the bad back genes or something. But it has kept me from doing stuff through my whole life. Like, I had low back issues and it's just gotten worse, then I've done things, where I aggravated my back and then it would just do what I would say go out, where my back no longer will support my body and I just have to lay in bed for a week and take muscle relaxers and literally use a walker. Sometimes it would be so bad. I would be using a walker, just to get myself to the bathroom or, and then back into bed. So, I mean, it was a constant daily thing. And I also had this like twist. I didn't know what it was. I thought I have one leg shorter than the other. I have my hips off or something, but I just stood at this slant. And a lot of the things about how I was standing, were compounding my back issues, and I didn't know. But I had been to at least a dozen chiropractors over the years. They would give me very minimal relief. I've been to pain management doctors. I've been to osteopathic doctors. Surgery wasn't an option. I had back injections. I had so many things done, and it was just basically like, you have some bulging discs, you have this, basically you're in your 40s. You just need to get used to being immobile and being on drugs.
And how did that make you feel?
Well, it made me feel hopeless. It really did. It made me feel hopeless. I just felt like, what am I, 70? This is just my life. What am I going to do? Like, I can't function. We can't plan vacations because I don't know if my back's going to be okay with that when that time comes. I actually came across you in a summit. It was a, I don't know, a dieting summit or something. And your session just resonated with me so much. I saw you using Skelly and doing a few things and a few movements. And I thought, wow, this is really interesting. And like I said, I've tried so many things. I mean, it was like, I've done physical therapy and it was always like, you need to strengthen your core. And I'm like, my core doesn't want to be strengthened. When I do exercises, my back goes out. I can't I can't do strength exercises. So I really, what you said in your session just really resonated with me. I rewatched it, and then you had the option to book like a, I don't know, like a, I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah. Was it an assessment, an alignment
Yes.
assessment? Yes.
Yeah, just an assessment. And so you spent maybe 20 minutes with me going through some different movements, having me stand, having me turn. By the time we were done, I thought, I feel like I've had a shoulder massage. I feel like her just telling me to shift things that I didn't know needed to be shifted just felt so much better.
Right. And this was over Zoom, right?
Yeah, this was over Zoom. You weren't in the room like moving me, which was so crazy. You would just tell me to do stuff. You'd look at me and you would just say, okay, do this, do that, move this way, move that way. And you would just assess, what was going on. And I was like, I am signing up for this thing. So, I signed up, and I started doing, the sessions, and just learning so much, and figuring out so much about like how our bodies are meant, like what I thought was good posture was not. It was actually compounding my problems. Having the sessions with you, like the one-on-one sessions, phenomenal, because you add so much more specific, information that I can apply, to myself. Like
Right.
what's in the program is amazing, but then you shape it just for me, like so that I can apply.
And that is so important. Thank you for bringing that up, because that is so important for women at our age and stage, at peri and post menopause. I like to say, one size fits all is great for hotel slippers and pashminas, but it does not work for women at our age and stage, right? So
Yeah.
I love how you said the Reshape method is really this hybrid process where there's the pre-recorded content that you do in your own time, right? Because I'd love you to tell us, like, how was it to be able to be consistent, right? Because there's the pre-recorded content, you do that in your own time. Then there's the group coaching. So you with me, you with the community, you're learning from other people weekly. And then there are the private sessions where we can really get into detail about what is happening in your body. And I think maybe you can let people know how the combination of those three factors is really the magic.
Yeah, I think so, because having the pre-recorded content was great, because then I can do it at my, on my own time whenever I want to, and I always have those sessions to go back to. But then when you're saying things in those workouts, and I'm like, I don't really know what that means, or I'm not really sure I'm doing this move right, then we can get on the weekly calls and ask specific questions and get that clarity. And then having the private sessions with you, and you watching me do things, and me being like, oh, I thought I was doing that move right. And I totally, like I was using my cheats, I was like, using the wrong muscles to get an assimilation of the movement. Like it looked like the movement, but it wasn't using the right muscles. And you would hone in and help me figure that out to a greater degree, in those private sessions. So having it all like that really helped me want to be consistent, because I felt like I'm doing these at home. I've got the weekly group coaching calls that I'm going to be showing up for. And then I know that I've got my private session coming up. So I want to make sure that I've, done the work, so that I'm aware, of like what the session's going to be about. And so I can kind of show you like what I'm doing. So, I mean, it's like the best of everything, like having a private, like personal trainer, but having like the pre-recorded workouts, and you can always go back to the pre-recorded workouts. And, when you go back to those after you've been through it, after you've made so much progress, it's like you're saying things that I never heard you say before, or like I know what it means now, and I can do it, like when I'm breathing and when I'm doing different things, like I was just trying to like not fall over the first time.
Amazing. And now also, okay, well, we'll get back to what was going on with your back, but you have also lost 20 pounds, and maybe we can share the screen. Do you mind if I share the screen and show people your incredible before and after pictures? And then let's talk about that, because the Reshape method is not a weight loss program, and yet you lost 20 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
So here are your before and after pictures. This is phenomenal. I love how you said here that you've got the posture of a teenager.
I don't think I even had this good a posture when I was a teen.
And that you're feeling fitter and stronger and more confident. So, right, the Reshape Method is not a weight loss program. There are some nutrition elements involved, but I love how you said in our wrap-up workshop that there was a domino effect. So maybe tell people a little bit about that.
I think, once I felt that my body was unlocked from this, you can see in the pictures, like this twist that I was in that had my shoulders being held at such a wrong angle, and it had it was all trickling down to my low back, and it was just making everything I was doing miserable. And once we were able to like unlock that and I could move with freedom, then I was like, because I had kind of gotten to the point to where I was like, okay, I'm in my 40s. I'm just going to be fat for a while, and I don't know what to do about it. And nothing I'm doing is working. And I just kind of had like this, I was just kind of really down about it. And I just kind of had like this defeatist mindset. And I think whenever we had that session and we really got my shoulders unlocked, and I just felt the difference in my low back, that I was just like, okay, well, here's what I can do. I can walk every day. I can walk twice a day, and I'm going to move. And that made me then want to start eating better, which made me then want to start doing more things. It was just kind of like having one thing that I could cling to, because I felt like so much of my health was out of my control for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It just made me want to make better choices in other areas. I think it was just kind of like this positive mindset.
Yeah. And you said like a domino effect, right? And I think also when we are struggling, when we are in pain, when our future trajectory doesn't look like an audacious aging trajectory, which is what we often the
It looks like I'm going to the nursing home in a month.
Right. It looks pretty bleak,
Yeah.
Then we land up doing a lot of comfort eating.
Yeah.
But when you're feeling amazing, so maybe talk a little bit about that domino effect, that hope of no longer feeling that constant back pain, how that had a domino effect. And the important thing, right, that you felt that you now had the tools to be able to take charge of your changing body.
Yeah, I felt like God just kind of showed me, like, you can move your body and you can choose what you eat. And if you like, even if I don't think I can control anything else, like I can't control my hormones or, fix where, fat is deposited or whatever, but I can control that. And so I was like, I am feeling so much better. I am going to walk each day. And then after I'd walk, I'd be like, I'm going to eat really clean. Like I kept saying, like I've tried all these diets, I've done all these things, but whether or not I had been 100% consistent, was a little iffy when I really like laid it all out on the table. It was like, okay, I was doing it, but was I really being consistent? I kept kind of going back to like processed food, here and there, because I wasn't feeling good. And not feeling good, it's like, well, who wants to like, cook a bunch of stuff or make stuff from scratch? Or as soon as my back would get messed up, it'd be like, well, we're just going to eat, microwave stuff. We're going to get, pizza or whatever, just because it was easier, because I didn't feel good. So saying like, okay, I can move and I am not in pain like I was. And then that just kind of like carrying over to like, hey, I can make healthy foods. I can just get the junk food out of my house. I can like just say, I'm going to try this and see what happens. And it was phenomenal, because it was literally like, I just started eating whole foods, eating simple, quit eating refined stuff, quit eating sugar, and walked and did the reshape. And I never in my life, and the weight just dropped.
That is incredible. That's incredible. And Carrie is coming to speak to us during this, as we're doing our spring Reshape Your Walk workshop and challenge, where we're really talking about how walking is the peri and postmenopausal woman's secret weapon. And Carrie is absolute proof of that. But as long as you are walking properly, right? So maybe you can tell people how this different way of walking that we are able to access the way the body is actually meant to walk, how that is the game changer. That is really all you need to be doing are the Reshape Method workouts and walking.
Yeah. So I realized because in the past because I walked a lot, usually that was most of what the like exercise time that I could do was walking, but it would hurt my back. Like my back would end up hurting. It would like sometimes I would be like stuck when I would sit for a while and then I'd get to go walk. I'd be stuck in this like bent position and I would just walk in pain until my body would finally be like, okay, now you can straighten up. Um, but getting the right muscles involved, using my big muscles in the back of my legs and my butt to walk instead of trying to use my quads and keeping my weight forward and keeping the pressure on my low back. It just really relieved everything. My back doesn't hurt when I walk anymore. And that was like
Right.
that was just like the normal
Right.
thing.
And that's because we've reshaped your alignment. You now look
Exactly.
like a human body, a human skeleton should look. And that it's really as simple as that. It's almost too simple, right?
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't seem, I mean, it doesn't seem possible, but what you have done through this program and what you were able to do, I mean, specifically to me, I mean, like doctors, chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, it's like nobody was ever like, hey, you've got one shoulder 3 inches lower than the other. That's probably what's causing your back issues.
Right. And then, of course, it had nothing to do with the shoulders,
It
right?
wasn't the shoulders. Yeah, it wasn't the shoulders. Like I thought maybe I'll just shrug this other one and then it'll look normal, but it wasn't. And it is like, it is crazy because do you want me to say kind of like in my ribs was this twist that we figured out. And I can still like, I had a big work project that I'm working on recently. So I was sitting at my desk a lot more than normal. And I don't really have to think about it as much anymore because like when I stand up, my body just kind of naturally like is like, oh, this is how we stand straight, not in this wonky thing that we used to do. But I had been sitting for quite a while and I stood up and I just felt it pull. I felt like I was being pulled over. And I thought, okay. And I stopped and I just kind of pressed on my rib. It's kind of like my brain's trigger.
Yeah.
And it was so cool because I could just feel my body shift, my weight go back in my heels, and this whole side of my body just release. And then I just stood there for a second and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm all right. Instead of like getting up and hobbling around and then going and laying down in bed.
Yeah. And then thinking, right, because it's the empowerment. That is what I'm really giving members of the Reshape Method is the knowledge and the empowerment to then go forward in the rest of your life and know what you need to do. You don't have to rush off to a physio or a chiro if it's not needed. You are empowered to understand in your body what is going on and how to make the corrections yourself, right? And I was looking at our wrap-up session and you said your mom was saying to me, who is this woman? Is she a wizard? Why did she say that, right? Because
I showed her before
so many practitioners and doctors before.
That's the thing, because it was like, I mean, there was no real reason that any, doctor was seeing like in my MRIs or anything as to like why I had such severe low back issues. So they were just like, well, you're too young. You're not a candidate for surgery. The shots we did into your discs didn't work. So basically, here's some pain medication. You're just going to have to kind of live with it. Physical therapy isn't going to help. Nothing's going to help. So the idea that what you did, and I can't really put it into words, but how you were able to look at me through a computer screen, tell me to shift things, tell me to move in certain ways, show me how to like give me the keys to unlock what was completely twisted and locked in my body. It is it is like magic. And it's like I don't know. I do get a little speechless because it's like I don't think I can like express enough how life-changing this is. This isn't just like this was like a nagging, you know, thing that just kind of bugged me. This was debilitating. This was affecting my life like so much that I'm not a depressed person, but like I would have bouts of depression when my back would cause me so much problems because I just thought, like I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And it just gave me so much freedom. And my mom, I live near my mom and we walk together. And she's just like, I'm I mean, I guess she's just seen what I've gone through and how much I've struggled and stuff. And she's just like, how is it possible, that this woman like was able to do what no one else could do and just to figure out what was even causing it and how to unlock it. So, I mean, it does seem like absolutely amazing. I get speechless when I talk about it.
It is amazing. It is amazing. And you are amazing for trusting me and for trusting the process, because it is a process. We are doing things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And you've got to just hit play and do the work and show up, right? And let things evolve and change over time. So absolutely kudos to you for staying with it and for believing in the process and in the Reshape Method and in me. So what would you say to people who are thinking about joining the Reshape Method but are maybe, on the fence, a bit trepidant, not sure if it will work for them?
It's gonna work. I'm just gonna say, like, if it was like I have tried so many things, and you can see like my before and after pictures, and it seems crazy. Like it seemed impossible. Being my age, having struggled as much as I did, like I thought, could this really be the thing? Could this really, make the difference where nothing else has? But like if you are having issues, if you are not happy in your body, if you're not able to move the way you want to, this is the answer. I'm just like saying it because it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's not, go to a doctor and get a Band-Aid, like pain medication or get a shot, and then maybe you can kind of move a little bit for a few months. It is addressing the root cause. And I think that's the issue that like, no, I didn't know. Nobody that I went to knew like what was causing it. Like I said, they would be like, strengthen your core, do squats, strengthen your abdomen and everything. But I didn't know what, like I didn't know what I didn't know. And my body, of course, was using cheats and it was always loading my low back. And so everything I did made my low back worse. So then I was just like, okay, well, I just won't move. I'll just sit, I'll just lay down. I'll just be sedentary. Sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent, but it's like,
No, you're not.
just
it's so important.
don't believe what you've been told. Like if you've been like, I was kind of just like brushed off, I feel like, by a lot of professionals. It was just kind of like, this is your life and you just aren't ever going to be able to do anything. And you're just going to, you're just going to sit and of course get worse, because that's not how our bodies are meant to live. We're not meant to be sedentary. And so having you address and figure out, it wasn't. And what I'll say too is like, it's a discovery, like you're looking at me as an individual, like exactly what was going on with me and figuring out what was hindering me and what was keeping me. And each time, we would meet, we would unlock something else. And then I would work on that little by little. And until it was just like, I'm like standing and I'm not crooked. I'm not in pain. I'm not like, I don't even think about it anymore. Really. It's amazing. So I would say if you were on the fence, just go for it, because if you want to live this part of your life well and feel good and move freely, I mean, I am moving better than I have probably ever, then you just need to give it a shot. I mean, that's what I would say. It is 100,000,000% worth it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming to share your story with us today. And just seeing the joy on your face is phenomenal. What kind of new kind of hopes and dreams and things do you have in your future now that you feel that you are in control, that you're no longer like a victim to what was happening in your body? Were you feeling like a victim? Because it's hard.
I absolutely did. And I think that's what would kind of cause, the bouts of depression when my back would act up. It would, because I would think like, okay, I'm going to start this exercise program, or okay, I'm going to do this, physical therapy stuff, or I'm going to do this because I wanted to lose weight, and we're always told just exercise, and restrict and you'll lose weight. But I was always stopped, from exercising. So I just felt like, woe is me. Why is this happening to me? What can I do? I can't do anything. I'm just going to lay in bed. And of course, like you said, when we're kind of in that, we want to kind of eat for comfort, and just, it was miserable. And I think I just, to a degree, I feel like maybe I had just kind of let myself go and just kind of gave up, because I thought, well, I just can't control anything. I can't move. I can't exercise. What's the point of even trying? And it was very, it was just putting me in a really bad place mentally. Like I didn't like myself and I wasn't happy with my life. And I just felt like we could never, my husband and I could never really plan anything to go and enjoy ourselves, to go on a vacation. Like, what were we going to do? Plan it. And then right before the trip, it's like, oh, I can't sit in the car. I can't move. We can't walk. So I feel like this has given me the freedom to know, like, I know what to do when I, maybe sit for too long, when I'm not moving enough, I know what to do to get my body, back into proper alignment. I know what to do to strengthen the right muscles so that I'm using those right muscles instead of defaulting to my low back. And it has given me so much, like, I would just say, like, a positive outlook for the future. Like, my husband and I have, for our anniversary coming up in August, we have a trip planned to Colorado where we're going to be doing a bunch of hiking and sightseeing, which we've been scared to plan anything that involved like a lot of movement or walking, because we never knew like what kind of situation I was going to be in with my ability to move. But I just feel confident, like I feel so, I guess, like, just free in my own body to move. You have a session in the Reshape called the Freedom, or like Permission to Move. And it's like, yeah, I was scared. I was scared to move in a lot of ways because I knew that my body was going to like be like, nope, you can't do that. And I, and now I am learning to trust the strength of my body to move in ways that I know are good. So it's like, it's just kind of like a whole rewiring of the brain. But yeah, it really has changed. Like, I would just say, like, my outlook on the future, I don't feel like I'm going to be hindered by my age or by like these chronic conditions or anything like that. I feel like, the sky's the limit. I can do, whatever I want to do.
And you absolutely can. So do you feel like, as we say in the Reshape Method, do you feel like you have the tools now to age audaciously?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like, I made the joke earlier, like I was going to be in a nursing home, like I mean, before this, I kind of felt like, what, like, I'm 45. I'm like, what's going to happen when I'm 55 or 65? I'm going to be in a wheelchair. I'm going to be like bedridden, So yeah, I feel like I am going to take this into, the next decade. I'm going to be healthier than I was in my 20s. I mean, I've always had these problems. So it's like, I just feel like it's only going up from here. I'm going to continue to do these, Reshape workouts, and I'm going to continue to grow and be stronger. And so I just feel like I am not going to be that, in that mindset of like, oh, I'm getting older, I can't get up off the floor, I can't move, I can't do this. It's like, no way.
No, right? And that's what we're about in the Reshape Method. We're about changing our alignment, optimizing the way the body works so that we are aging backwards.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And we absolutely can. I mean, yeah. Do you feel like you have the tools to age backwards?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that I can always reach out to you, like, if something comes up, or if there's, I mean, like there's always going to be things, there's always going to be things, a little injury or this or that, there's,
Yeah.
I mean, you are always there, for private sessions. You're always there in the Facebook group to provide that support and guidance. And it's like, I feel like I finally understand so much of like what was preventing me from doing things, like when I was in high school. Like I didn't know like why I couldn't be athletic.
Yeah.
So it's like I finally just feel like I know what to do now so that my body can be healthy and strong and active and fit and not, not be in pain.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming to chat to us, because I know that what we're doing in the Reshape Method can seem almost unbelievable, right? So coming to share your story and sharing your before and after pictures is really, I do not take it lightly. Thank you. It is a real gift that you're giving to other people who are watching, who may be also feeling like you felt and like I felt way back, feeling this hopelessness and defeated because it's not for lack of trying, right? You had tried so much and nothing was working. And sometimes we don't even know that a solution exists, or we don't even know what the real problem is, right?
Yeah.
Because the Reshape Method is really getting down to the most fundamental level of the body, which is the biomechanics, the skeleton, the how the body works, right? So we're really going, as I like to say, under the hood. And it's often a solution to a problem that we don't even know we had.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 100%. Like I didn't know what was really causing all the pain and what was causing all of the, the issues that I had. I didn't think it was my ribs.
Well, thank you so much for coming to share your story with us. And you're a full member of the Reshape Method, so you get lifetime access to the content and to new content. And I can't wait to see where the magic of the Reshape Method takes you in the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Absolutely.
So, we'll have you back in a year's time and we'll see how things are going. Okay. Thank you, Carrie. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
You too.